Hazrat Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu and Hazrat Abu Zar radiyallahu anhu said, we would consider learning one chapter of knowledge better than 1,000 rikat nawafil or participating in 70 battles of jihad. Hazrat Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu used to say that a session of discussion on deen is better than a whole night of praying nawafil. Imam Sufyan as-Sawri and Imam Shafi'i radiyallahu anhu said, after obligatory prayers, nothing in the whole world universe is superior to learning knowledge of deen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am Sayyid Najm Qadri, seeking truth, finding God. Welcome to Divine Seekers. Today's topic is spreading the light, the proprieties of sharing Islamic knowledge. In today's episode, we will inshallah cover the following: the power of knowledge, the humility of Aalim or the possessor of knowledge, and the importance of spreading knowledge. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah Hajj, ayat number 54. And that those who have been given knowledge may realize that is, the recited revelation is the truth from your Lord. And those who believe in it by rejecting Satan's interjections, and that their hearts may humble before him. Indeed, Allah guides the believers to the straight path. So, from this ayah we learn that ilm bil wahi is haq and is not connected to the qalb. Also, the beneficial knowledge is which gives humility towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we see any alim, any seeker of knowledge, that has to have humility. Khashiyat ilahi. If humility is not there and filled with arrogance and self-praise and something else, then that is not a true seeker of knowledge or possessor of knowledge. Surah Naml, ayat number 40. Then the one who had special knowledge of the book said, I will bring it to you before the blink of your eye. So when he saw it, that is the throne placed next to him, he said, this is by the grace of my Lord to test me, whether I give thanks or be unthankful. And whoever is grateful shows gratitude only for his own sake. And whoever is ungrateful should know that my Lord is indeed all-sufficient, all-honored. This person in this surah and ayah is Asif bin Barkhiyah. Has a lot of capabilities and unique strength. Quran gave the title to him, then the one who had special knowledge of the book. Knowledge is such a strong thing that Quran is mentioning him. And he is just a wali from Sulaiman alayhi salam's court. And he was so powerful that imagine in a blink of an eye, he brought a throne of the Queen Bilqis. Imagine that. And then imagine what will be the strength of a wali from Ummati Muhammadi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sahifa Sulaimani cannot compete with Quran Majid. Surah Qasas, ayat number 80. Now we are discussing the power of knowledge and the benefits of knowledge. But those gifted with knowledge said, woe to you! Allah's reward is better for someone who believes and acts righteously. But no one will receive it except the patient. Ilmul Kitab, the nuzul of Ilmul Kitab is only on the ruh of someone who has tazkiyatun nafs, who has done islah of amal, af'al, harakat, sakinat. If he has done that, then this leads to purity of batin self, the niyyah. And then there are different stages of sabr. If he does all of that, then he is the possessor of true knowledge. Even the first ayat which were descended on Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Iqra bismi rabbika allazi khalaq," is in connection with the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and connection with Him. Now let's look at virtues and proprieties of spreading knowledge. Some of the hadiths now. We will bring in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 6882. Ravi is Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, and he said this hadith, or he brought this hadith during a Jummah khutbah that he was giving. Prophet ﷺ said, when Allah intends good for someone, He grants him deep and comprehensive insight of the deen. Then he said, undoubtedly, it is only I who distribute ana qasimu. This blessing, what does Holy Prophet ﷺ distribute? This blessing of knowledge and jurisprudence. But Allah is the one who grants. Wallahu yuti. The matter of this is what my community will remain established with the restitute forever. There will always remain a group within my community who will obtain the correct knowledge. There will always be some people with comprehensive cognizance of the deen. The presence of this aspect of my deen will continue to remain forever without an instance of failure in any time, until Allah's decree appears and the day of judgment arrives. Prophet ﷺ said that in my ummah there will be a group always who will remain steadfast on the straight path, right path, dominant on the right path, on truth. And this group of people are the people of knowledge and fiqhud deen. Similarly, in Surah Kahf, it's mentioned. So they found a special servant amongst my servants. We had taught him with special knowledge. So fortunate are those who worked hard in such a way that it attracts Allah's intention of good for them. Not for business, not for money, not for dunya. We must clean and purify the container of our heart and should engage in good moral conduct. Then what will happen? Allah's blessing will descend on us. He then opens the doors and blesses us. The biggest and the most important thing is to purify our niyyah. Ibn Abi Shayba has mentioned this in Al-Musannaf, hadith number 31,049. Also, Al-Bahqi has mentioned this hadith. Ravi is Hazrat Muhammad bin Ka'b al-Qurrazi radiyallahu anhu. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the servant upon whom Allah intends to shower special mercy and intends good for him, what does he do? He blesses him with 3 special attributes. Number 1, tafakkur fid deen, deep and perfect understanding of deen. Wherever there is mention of tafakkur fid deen, there is mention of special mercy and intends good for him. There are different status of this depending on his own courage, how much he gets it. And from there are mujtahid fil mazhab, mufti, alim, da'i or muballigh. Second blessing is zuhad fid dunya. His heart is disenchanted with the world. Hirse dunya, hubbe dunya, the love of worldly affairs is out of him. He's blessed with patience, and out from him is lust and attachments of the world. His heart loses any attention of this dunya. The world is not in his heart, but in his hand. He lives in the dunya, but without the love of it in his heart. And then the third thing he is blessed with, وَبَصَّرُوا أُيُوبَهُ, Allah grants him such insight that his own faults now become apparent, clear, crystal clear in front of his eyes. He doesn't search for people's faults. He did that, she did that, WhatsApp status, they did that. No. I mean, how you see people nowadays on social circles and social media. Narcissism unlimited. Self-love unlimited. Highly curated images unlimited. Fake profiles and personalities. Allah keeps them deprived of gnosis of the deen. And those for whom Allah wills good for, He gives them awareness about their own faults. Then when his own faults are apparent, he's always worried about his own fault to get rid of them, to get purification from them. He's seeing all these faults magnanimously. Next hadith is Tirmizi, hadith number 2681. One Kamil jurist, Prophet ﷺ said, is stronger than 1,000 worshippers. Ashaddo is used here. Ashaddo, stronger. Why is the word ashaddo used in the hadith, stronger used in the hadith? Because superior is different than stronger. Superior is a darja and can be demoted down. But stronger is essential to deal with the attacks on his spiritual self. Story of Hazrat Huzur, Sayyidi Murshidi, Sayyidina Ghawsul Azam and Shaitan. He appeared as a cloud and told him, Sayyidina Ghawsul Azam, that I am your Lord and the Shariat and Namaz is now just cancelled for you. Ghawsul Sakalain thought, how can it be cancelled when it has never been cancelled for a Nabi? He recited, Astaghfirullah. The cloud disappeared. The shaitan came and said, Oh Abdul Qadir, I am shaitan and your knowledge prevented you from being misguided by me. He said, Lanati, it wasn't my knowledge. This is the bigger attack. It was the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on me. So if He gives us the tawfiq, our faults become apparent. And the knowledge, the person becomes stronger than 1,000 zahid because he knows the attacks, he knows the ups and downs of deen and the peculiarities of the deen. Ibn Abdul Barr in Jami al-Bayan, volume 1, 46, has presented tafsir of Surah Al-Anbiya, ayat number 21. Event about the person on the day of judgment. His neki ka palada, the weighing scale will be light. Then the cloud of good deeds will be sent. Unfortunately, today, educated middle-class men or people are not making career for their kids in deen. Ilm-e-Deen is not for the rich, but for the poor now. Then we see the reaction of that in the society. For the poor also, it's about affordability and earning dunya and not for the service of deen of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For the rich, there is no space for the deen in today's list of to-do list for their kids. Social background of the da'i is from poor family, nature versus nurture. And of course, we know the genetic influences. Deen has been reduced to madrasas of the poor, lacking basic needs, latest technology, curriculum of the modern world. The world has gone 300 years ahead, and we in the madrasas are 250 years behind. How can we expect a world-class da'i coming out of that low-quality madrasa? We are responsible for the status of our deen today. And we cannot blame the madrasa. What have we done? Inna Allaha la yughayyiru biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah Ta'ala doesn't help any qawm until they help themselves. Sunan Ibn Majah, Hadith number 233, Prophet ﷺ said, may Allah keep the person happy and his face fresh and radiant, who heard from us our advice by teachings and my deen, and transmitted and communicated this forward. And the message whom it was communicated to are also better than the giver of the message. Prophet ﷺ has prayed for the person who has given the priority to deen, from their family, from their circle, dedicate and create a team of people dedicated to the transmission of deen. We need to plan this forward. Tirmizi, Hadith number 2656, Prophet ﷺ said, firstly, he prayed for freshness, who heard Hadith and memorized it, and also transmitted it to the Ummah. Abu Dawood, Hadith number 23659. Ravi is Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas. Prophet ﷺ said, how fortunate are the families and some of their children who step forward to become part of this chain. And how happy Prophet ﷺ will be seeing this chain. Imagine. Align secular modern knowledge with the knowledge of deen. Bring it forward. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal in Al-Musnad, volume number 4, page 80. Ravi is Jubair bin Mutim radiyallahu anhu. Holy Prophet ﷺ was at Masjid Khaif at Mina and said, may Allah keep that person happy and fresh, who listens to my word, comprehends it well, then takes it to those who do not have heard directly from me. Whoever transmit it might not be a faqih-ud-deen, but he is taking the depth of deen from me and message from me, and he's only communicating my words. It is very much possible that those who communicate my words are less intelligent than those who the message has been communicated to. Our responsibility is to take it forward. Therefore, those who would have higher capacity to be a jurist, if some of them become the carriers and communicators of deen, how empowering will it be for the ummah and for the deen of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It'll be a game changer with great future and leadership. Boycotting products won't gain global peace. Boycotting products won't do anything. Well-to-do family of Muslims should come forward and contribute their at least one kid for this cause. And then you see the change in society. Tabrani, Hadith number 5846. Ravi is Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu anhu. Prophet ﷺ said, O Allah, bless my vicegerents. Sahabis asked, O Prophet ﷺ, who are your vicegerents? What does this mean? He said, my vicegerents are those who will come after me in subsequent generations and will narrate my sunnah and hadith. What a blessing for those who carry and communicate this great inheritance and this his own ears. They are Holy Prophet ﷺ's Khalifa. They are his da'i. They are his representative. Dalami, Hadith number 453, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, should I not tell you regarding the most generous? Allah is the most generous of the generous. And I am the most generous of all human world. And who will be the most generous after me in the ummah? He asked. The most generous amongst my ummah will be those who will gain the knowledge of the deen that I have granted them. Then he will spread the knowledge to others and promote it. Take it to the world and take it to the generations. The person who will gain knowledge and then spread it to the world, and when Allah will call everybody for accountability on the day of judgment, then at his turn, he'll be one person in the counting, but he will be raised and his grade, darjat, will be equal to one whole community, one whole ummah. One person equal to an ummah. Tabrani, hadith number 6964. Ravi is Hazrat Samura bin Jundub radhiyallahu anhu. Prophet ﷺ said, people do charitable acts, but no instance of charity is superior to spreading the knowledge that I leave behind for you. The supreme act of charity is to spread knowledge. No economic charity equals the charity of knowledge and spreading it amongst people. See the importance of spreading knowledge. Tabarani, hadith number 12,421. Prophet ﷺ said, Allah's greatest blessing is the word of truth of knowledge, and that a servant listens to it, then spreads it to other. This single person of knowledge is equal to an ummah. Imam Dar Qutni in Kanzul Ummal. Ravi is Hazrat Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu. Holy Prophet ﷺ said that a session to gain the cognition of deen and its knowledge, the majalisul ilm, where the perfect cognition of deen is better than 60 years of ibadah. One session is equal to 60 years of ibadah. Even you are sitting in a majalisul ilm. May Allah accept it. Ibn al-Qayyim, Miftah Dar al-Sada, Volume 1, page number 118. A little of fiqh of deen is better than abundant quantity of worship. Ibn Qayyum, in the same volume, he said, Hazrat Ali, he's quoting Hazrat Ali, Karamallahu Wajhal Kareem said, the possessor of the knowledge of deen and its teacher is superior to the one who fasts his entire life, stands in worship at nights all his life, performs jihad in the battlefield all his life. Who? Possessor of knowledge of deen and its teacher. Hazrat Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu and Hazrat Abu Zar radiyallahu anhu said, we would consider learning one chapter of knowledge better than 1,000 rikat nawafil or participating in 70 battles of jihad. Just one chapter, my listeners, my friends. Hazrat Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu used to say that a session of discussion on deen is better than a whole night of praying nawafil. Imam Hassan Basri radiyallahu anhu said, if I donate the wealth of the entire world, if I possess that, in the way of Allah, that is more beloved to me than to learn one chapter. To learn one chapter is more beloved to me than donating all the wealth of the world that I have. And what is that? One chapter of prophetic knowledge, and to teach it to a Muslim brother. Yahya bin Kasir, Tabi'i said, learning of knowledge and teaching it is optional salat namaz. Imam Sufyan as-Sawri and Imam Shafi'i radiyallahu anhu said, after obligatory prayers, nothing in the whole world universe is superior to learning knowledge of deen. Imam Nawawi in Al-Maju, Volume 1, page number 44 said, he's quoting Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, who was asked, what is the most favorite act? Whole night of seeking knowledge, or spreading it for the benefit of ummah, or praying whole night of nawafil? He replied that engaging in the process of knowledge, learning and teaching deen, because this is the struggle to secure the inheritance of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It will give guidance to the ummah for its protection and upheaval of society, leading to global peace and harmony. Imagine the chaos in the society now. Imagine the uneducated people in the society now. Imagine the covetousness, the aggression in the society, all because of lack of knowledge. Ishaq bin Abdullah said The people nearest to the Prophet ﷺ on the day of judgment, as well as in the paradise, will be the carrier of knowledge of Prophet ﷺ. Sahal bin Abdullah Tastari said, whoever wants to view the circles of the prophets and see how they used to put their communities on the right path and how they struggled with them, then he should attend the sessions of the scholars of sacred knowledge. Want to see the prophetic circles? Attend the circles of knowledge of scholars. Ulamae Rabba'in, Ulamae Salihin, Alim Ba'amal, Ilm in Zahir and Batin, Muttaqi, not businessman selling deen, $1,000 for one khutbah, so 1,000 rupees for this, fees of Naat Khwa. No, I know salary is a different matter, but not this. Quran says, "Innama yakhshallahu min ibadihil ulama." So only those of his servants who have knowledge fear him. If they have khashiyat, if they are practical, if they are for Allah and His Prophet, it's accepted. A person whose heart is not full of Allah's fear does not deserve the title of scholar or alim. And of course, all of these and many more ahadith are in Huzur Sayyidi Shaykh al-Islam, Dr. Professor Dr. Muhammad Tahir al-Qadri's book, Tuhfatun Nuqaba fi Fazilate Ilm wa Ulama. You can refer there. Next reference is Imam Nawawi al-Majma, volume 1, page number 65. Says that the first condition to obtain such knowledge and complete cognition of the deen is to purify the heart. As you clean the land in order to prepare it for farming and agriculture use, similarly, to gain knowledge, heart should be prepared for growing and nourishment. The heart should be purified from the lower self and from disease of the spiritual heart. If this doesn't happen, then that knowledge will never make you a perfect jurist and possessor of complete cognition. It will never give you the Prophet's legacy, nor shall it stand you in the row of his deputies. Imam Shafi'i said, one should clean his heart from all the connection that prove to be his hurdles. He said, if he intends to receive pure knowledge of deen, he must be content even if he does not have affluence resources. Because the knowledge of deen itself is a great blessing. One has to be contented and offer reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is sabr, patience. Strive for your halal rizq and still spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Holy Prophet sallallahu Quran, Surah Al-Anam, قُلْ لَا أَسْوَى لَكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا. All the ajr is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Sahih Bukhari, this hadith Qudsi, Imam Shafi'i said, the person who seeks power, authority, honor and worldly gains through knowledge of the deen never succeeds. Will never succeed in this life and hereafter. The ruling regarding both the seeker and the transmitter is the same. If it's for dunya, he will not get the barakah, nothing in this world or hereafter. Knowledge has its own etiquettes and adab. One should not be bothered if faced with economic strife and struggle, as we mentioned earlier. One must be content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He must be content with the light of knowledge. If he does not see much resources and worldly benefit, he should not look at other people's worldly gains, their cars, their luxuries. He should rather look at Fuzail bin Ayaz, Ibrahim bin Adham, Junaid Baghdadi, Uwais Qarni, Sayyidina Ghausul Azam, Fariduddin Ganj Shakkar, Khwaja Gharib Nawaz. Look at the graves of the pious versus the sultan of the different kingdoms. They are dead and gone. And look at the graves of the pious. How it is still enchanted. Because they are the living dead. Who's alive and who's actually dead. Adopt indifference, contentment with humility and reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make the sunnah of the Prophet as ideal. If you make effort in such a way and with such intention and acquire knowledge and transmit it, then there will be understanding of this knowledge. It will strengthen cognition and earn the capacity, honesty and protection, and leadership from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the creation will follow you and respect you. You shall be reliable. The more indifferent you are, the more honor shall you earn from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will give you honor in this world and hereafter. Not this makhluk, who is itself reliant on everything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah give us the tawfiq to learn Allah's deen, practice it, and then spread it out to the whole world, wherever we can, whoever we can in our capacity, so that humans can again live in peace and harmony. Ameen. So in conclusion, today we looked at the power of knowledge. Knowledge is a divine gift that can lead to spiritual enlightenment and guidance. It is essential for understanding the Quran and following the Sunnah. Scholars and those who spread knowledge are highly regarded in Islam. We also looked at humility of Aalim. True knowledge is accompanied by humility and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Arrogance and pride are detrimental to spiritual growth. Not narcissism, not arrogance, humility. And we also looked at the importance of spreading knowledge of Holy Prophet ﷺ that he brought. It is a religious duty to share knowledge with others. By spreading knowledge, one can contribute to the betterment of society and earn divine rewards. This act of sharing is seen as a form of charity and a way to honor Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, what are your thoughts on this podcast? Share your insights in the comments below. If you have any questions, follow-up questions, you can also type in the comments below. Any truth I have spoken is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I made any mistake, may Allah forgive my shortcomings. Let's seek the divine together. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking. Wassalam.